Good morning, world of readers. I am Book Dragon Erin, and I would like to welcome you all back to my booktube channel, where today I will be reviewing The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. The Electric Kingdom is a young adult sci-fi dystopian sort of novel, and it is a standalone, although I think a sequel would be incredible, along with a whole movie and or TV show adaptation. Readers who read this book also enjoyed The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, When You Ask Me Where I'm Going by Jasmine Cower, and You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. As far as the tagline goes, The Electric Kingdom is a sweeping exploration of art, storytelling, eternal life, and above all, a testament to the notion that even in an exterminated world, one person might find beauty in another. Moving right along into the plot, when a deadly fly flu sweeps the globe, it leaves a shell of the world that once was. Among the survivors are 18-year-old Nico and her dog, on a voyage devised by Nico's father to find a mythical portal, along with a young artist named Kit, raised in an old abandoned cinema, and the enigmatic and mysterious deliverer who lives life after life after life in an attempt to put the world back together. As swarms of infected flies roam the earth, these few survivors navigate the woods of a post-apocalyptic New England, meeting others along the way, each on their own quest to find life and love in a world gone dark. Moving right along into my thoughts on this book, I love how unique the book is, along with the cover art and the inside cover art. This book gives off a read me immediately aura, and I would love to know in the comments below, tell me if you feel that too, because this book was exciting from start to finish. It had me crying, it had me experiencing all the feels, it had me just captivated, so I would love to know if you were as captivated by this book as I was. Seriously, when I say tell me if you feel that pull towards this book too, I mean tell me honestly if you are not totally blown away by a girl trekking across New England to get to a portal that leads to a land of magic, also known as Kairos, that may or may not exist. There is also a family of 4, a mom, a son, and basically 2 adopted kids living alone in an abandoned town. There's a mysterious spaceman trying to put the world back together in the apocalypse, and there are murderous, contagious, fatal, dangerous flies eating whatever they can find. If those 4 points aren't details that you are captivated by, I honestly don't know what is. What I'm saying is, you seriously need to read this book, because if you don't read this book, I feel as if readers all across the world are missing out. Yes, this book gets confusing a little bit with all the lives that the deliverer lives, and it repeats itself, so it's basically reincarnation for the deliverer, and I just love every single life this deliverer lives, and the details in each and every one of the unique lives. That's fascinating to me. The one scene in this book that made me fairly emotional was when Nico realized that the bond that she had with her dog Harry was broken. When she whistled for him, he didn't come to her. She literally thought to herself, Harry's out for himself now. It made me tear up inside because I was thinking about the bond that I have with my dog Lacey, who is sleeping on my bed right now, and if our connection was broken, I don't know what I'd do. I loved Kit as a character and his origin story, how his mom, to Kit, aka my Dakota, knew of his existence before he was even born. And then she called him Kit because of her own mama's Kit, because of her midwifery career. I also loved the connection to the biblical tale of Mary and the angel who visited her to tell her that she would be the mother to baby Jesus. In this book, an angel visited Dakota to tell her about Kit, and 9 months later, Kit was born. That was so beautiful to me, and even though I'm not religious at all, or conform to any religion, which I don't, I still appreciate biblical retellings because so many of them I find to be so magical. I also love the concept of old magic being revived and remembered in the real world, so this book is like something out of my dreams. God knows I wish I could find old magic still possible. Some sign out there that tells me that there is magic still left out there to be treasured and never forgotten, and if I found that magic, I would hold it close to my heart every single day for the rest of my existence. And by the way, do not tell me that you do not believe in some form of magic, because I think everyone does in their own unique way. It doesn't have to be a witch or wizard sort of magic or religion-based magic, but just something unique that as an individual you treasure and or long for. All that said, I love the idea of a world within a world, thus my passion for this plot and its philosophical messages. A kingdom of magic, like the Kairos for Nico and her parents, hidden within this world and able to be reached after so long. If I knew that Kairos existed, or a kingdom of magic like it, I would be searching for that magical realm like Christopher Columbus seeking out the New World. Darkly and beautifully fitting was the justice served to Bruno and Gabe. I didn't trust either of them from the start, and I was proven right. They claim to be men of God, but they are both the farthest things from men of God. They are taking the Bible to literal extremes. They are wanting to repopulate the earth with Gabe's fertilizer to Nico's plant. I don't want to be demonetized or struck down, so I will just leave it at that and say about the birds and the bees, yeah, that's what they wanted to do to Nico. Then I also hated how Bruno brainwashed Gabe into believing he, meaning Gabe himself, was the second coming of Jesus Christ. For the record, I don't recall the Bible talking about a gunslinger Jesus who was willing to kill to get what he wanted. Men of God are gentle and powerful with their words, 100% not like Bruno and Gabe. Bruno and Gabe confronted and threatened Nico, Lennon, and Kit. The Deliverer was already there in the background and couldn't stop them from killing Kit, which broke my heart and actually made me cry. Like, as I was reading, I was sobbing to myself, and my mom, she's like, "Hey, Erin, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "This book." And then she said, "Okay, I get it." I loved that Lakey turned out not to be dead and delivered her own justice to Bruno and Gabe. I wish, of course, and who wouldn't, that Bruno and Gabe will burn in hell for what they did. Still, the sacrifice that Kit gave for Nico to live was both beautiful and devastating. He froze time and stood in front of Nico before the gunshots could kill her, thus sacrificing himself to save her. Kit did not deserve to die. He deserved to see Kairos with Nico, but I'm glad the little artist got to complete his character arc of completing Space Dog and Computer, which was very important to him. And I know that sounds really weird to say, but if you read the book, you will totally understand what I mean. And I am not saying anything else in too much detail, because again, I want you to read and experience this book just like I did. I think you've got a heart of stone if you don't shed at least some tears over Kit's death. My heart ached for Nico when I realized her destiny was actually to be alone as she put the world back together. When she spoke of her unending loneliness, I cried because I know that hollow in your heart feeling all too well. All that aside, she was reading the red books throughout her one life, and when she saw her future self deliver a new book that was far thicker than any of the red books, she realized that the rest of her story is finally her own and not dictated by the red books. She gets a happily ever after that is so well deserved and just so magical, and the rest of her story is so incredible. I was sobbing at that too. I am not even joking. As far as my rating and review goes, 10 out of 5 stars most certainly. This book is a whirlwind of emotions, and my heart aches in the best way possible. I love everything about this book, from the plot to the characters, connections to philosophies, and I love how the deliverer finds out, in their own way, that death is only the beginning of the story. This book is truly magical, and I will keep this book forever. Seriously, you are missing out if you don't read this book, so I highly recommend you read this book too. Anyway, that is all for today, so if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to show some support, subscribe to my booktube channel to get more videos like this, turn on that notification button to be notified when I upload brand new videos every single Sunday, keep on reading, subscribe to my second channel, Erin Rogoff Official, and have a great rest of the week, everyone!